Alright, what wanna say? Yeah.
It's recording?
Yeah.
I believe it is, sir.
Alright, so as I come on this, it's going to be very, very angry. It's going to be very,
You lost it. You lost your anger.
No, I haven't lost it. I haven't lost it. What I did, I decided that I was going to convert it into just a calm, be educated about it.
Okay.
And I go, when I get ignorant, and I go.
And what are we talking about?
Talking about internet trolls. Talking about people them that just.
Alright.
Say things, the hate. They call them the haters. They call them the critics.
Stick a whole heap up in there, Taj. Stick a whole heap up in. Let us define this troll, or what you speak, because I think there are many variations of a troll, So maybe we should just decide on what exactly we're talking about. Alright, let me. According to Urban Dictionary that I just opened up right here, it says a troll is one who posts a deliberately provocative message to a news group or message board with the intention of causing maximum disruption and argument.
True.
Is that's what you're talking about?
Well, that's not always a bad thing, though. You have different trolls. What
kind of trolls we're talking about?
You have some people that upload content that is provocative, but not necessarily in a way that I think that they believe in either. Like, some people that will literally post content just to be, just to be haters, dog, and just to kind of upset people.
Which I still have a problem with to an extent, but it is more so the ones that deliberately have bad intent and stand behind it, as in they believe what they say. Those are the ones that
the ignorant. Alright, so we're talking about ignorant mother methers.
Yeah. We can go through them. We can go through. we can. Right. Because you have the trolls that are funny, like the ones that. Comedy, and that's fine. I have trouble.
Alright, so we're talking about the haters. We're talking about the ignorant people. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about. Alright. I can talk about that. So what about them, Taj? What about these trolls?
Where do you start? Where do you start with something like that? Where do you
start at the most recent?
Okay, alright. So for instance, I was watching I watched the live, I was doing some work and I was watching that live press conference of Snoop Dogg. You heard Snoop's new transition to reggae.
Yeah. Zine? Yeah, I haven't heard of that.
Alright, well, just to, let everyone out there know, and Ikem know. Okay. Snoop has... He's been in Jamaica recently. He came down, I think, probably in March, and he came to work on a reggae album. So
Jano.
Yeah, just.
Why this? Yeah, okay. All right, go on through.
Yeah, let me just finish. So there's a situation where I don't think he had 100% knowledge of what he was going to do, but he just knew that he needed to come down here and. Get some kind of enlightenment. So apparently he's been.
Okay.
He spent some time up in the hills with with the elders and whatnot, and getting to know the culture and such. And I understand that, and that's cool.
All right. So Snoop Diggity Dog came down and was like, Ja Rastafari.
Yeah.
And then he decided to become a reggae musician. Alright, fair enough. Stranger things have happened.
He changed his name to Snoop Lion.
He's changed his name.
No, stop it. Stop this. What are you saying to me?
Yes,
Snoop
name
Lion.
Yes.
That is a joke. No, you're joking, right?
No, this is very serious.
Hold on here.
You can look it up. In fact, there is a documentary they filmed a documentary for it, brethren. So like they come down, they filmed. It's a full. It's
I think the name is pretty fresh, man. I don't know.
Snoop Lion, are you serious? No.
Hold on. It's cool. It's like a.
Go on, true.
So, they made a documentary. So.
Alright, wait. Is Snoop the troll in this story?
No.
Alright, go on, true, Taj. Tell us about the troll.
What you said? I didn't hear what you said.
Is Snoop the troll in this story?
No, he's not.
Alright. So where the trolling come in?
The trolling comes in more the fact of people's how can I put it? People's
reaction
to it.
People's reaction to it?
Yes.
Honestly, why? I mean, I just heard about this and I can't imagine. I mean.
No, but you want to know what's the big difference to Ikem? Like, I mean, yeah. I can understand if people like might hear the whole thing about transition and be like, "Wow, this is a bit weird," and they might want to comment and say, "Boy, not too sure about how I feel about this." But honestly, dog, you have some people now, dog, in this situation. I can imagine where Tash is going with this. That there are some people who would probably go as far as making jabs at even things like Jamaican culture and making like jabs at his character. You get me? Just because, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of where the trolling come in, dog. Because I mean, even before Tash started telling the story, when he made the announcement, I saw a picture of him. Like, he had a picture where he had like a sticker of like the Mad Decent sticker and the lion, and I saw it and like there's some comments on there. And
hold on.
I was like,
no, hold on. Cause I'm getting upset to the dog. Cause I Google image Snoop Lion, see me? And the man have a generic Rasta tam and him a wear holy pair of shades and I put up him I do a salute. And I said, Jano, as in, is this what Jamaica needs? Honestly? I mean, who let Snoop in? Who let Snoop in? Somebody let Snoop in, and then now it's like, Jano, honestly, and I'm being really serious. How you going to take Snoop Dogg seriously as a reggae musician, and what does it say about the reggae? I mean, people going to be looking on this and being like, yeah. You see, that's all them Jamaicans do, smoke weed like Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
dog, I mean, dog, here's my thing. My thing. I'm waiting to hear what he's going to actually be saying. As in, I'm waiting to hear some of the track. That's the first thing, you see me? Second,
well, there is a track out,
I mean, I heard that track, but I'm waiting to hear more tracks. Because... But alright, here's my reality for the situation. First and foremost, Rastafarianism is a thing. It's a religion, and boy, if you believe in it and you want to live by it, then that's your thing, and nobody can really, have you.
And
I say that's what you're saying. No, that's not. I'm not saying that's what you're saying. But reggae music in that, dog. I mean, personally, dog, as far as I'm concerned, dog, I probably may not be the happiest camper about the fact that he's doing reggae music, but, dog, you know what, dog? I have to respect him, you see me? I have to at least respect him.
Alright.
And I think that's my point. That's my angle, that you have to at least have some kind of... I mean, you can't question... I mean, not to say that I'm behind it 100% saying, yo, Snoop should do reggae and this seem like him calling, and I'm not really saying that. But what I'm saying is that you kind of have to have some kind of, I mean, somebody who's been in the business for this long and somebody who's been in doing music for this long, and you kind of have to give him at least the benefit of the doubt that he has some kind of idea of what he's doing or where he's going, and I mean, and for artists to even break away from the genre, like, and move into a different genre is risky.
Boy, you know what?
On their career part, and it's
Boy.
it takes at some level of bravery, I guess, or maybe, you know, I mean, yeah.
But now say fair, you know. But now say fair. But you know what it is though? It's the way you do it. Because honestly, this seemed like some promotional stunt to me. I seen a one bag of photo with him in a Rasta tam. Why? As in, honestly, dog, if I think if he's seriously converting to Rastafarianism, you see me, I would have think there would be some period of I don't know, like some transition, rather than just, you know, one day Snoop Dogg and him come down to Jamaica and then all of a sudden he's a Rasta, just like that. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, like I can't see it as more than a promotional stunt to gain some, you know, some hype or buzz or something. You see me? Honestly, I mean, it's very hard for look. It's very hard for me for look upon it any serious way still.
Well,
I know if we're wrong, but you know.
No, I don't think there's any, and that's even what we're talking about here today. I mean, nobody is wrong as long as you're being respectful. You get me? What I mean? That's your opinion, and I won't lie to you. I see where you're coming from with that. I mean, the first time I kind of saw it, I was like, boy. Although Snoop Dogg is a man who constantly reinvent himself, that's one thing that you have to kind of give him. That's a man that has managed to stay relevant throughout the years.
And that's my point. It feel like him just trying to be relevant, you see me? It's like, I don't know, dog.
It's a two-way street for me, Ikem. It's a two-way street for me, Ikem, because dog, I mean, if one day I just like stop painting, dog, or stop drawing, then I mean probably there'll just be no point to my life, you see me? But I mean I wouldn't see myself doing the same thing all the time, you see me? So I mean it's the fact of the matter is that his fame is like magnified tenfold and everybody knows him, so everybody sees his transitions. I mean, yeah, I mean it's giving him promotion, but I don't know, remember Snoop Dogg has been preaching Rastafarianism and reggae music for a long time, though, you know. Yeah, so I mean it's not like I go quick to say, boy, I mean, hold on, please. I could understand if a man like 50 Cent just jump come Jamaica and you hear say 50 Cent turn into Rasta Pence or something, you see me? I mean, I could understand some people frustration, you see me? Like some people being like, yo, yesterday was 50 Cent, today is Rasta Shilling. No, what's going on, you see me?
Rasta Shilling, dog.
You see me? But as in Snoop Dogg, it's been documented for a long time, and this is even before his transition, that this man has not only been repping Jamaican culture, but has been trying to understand it, you get me? Mark you, the way that his image is right now, I can understand some people who probably didn't catch some of the documentation before. I can understand some of those people kind of being like, this seem kind of, you know. But, I mean, I've seen it, you get me? From a long time ago, I've noticed that Snoop Dogg has taken an interest in certain things, you get me? So.
Alright, fair enough. Alright, let's get back on track. Where's the trolling in this, Taj? Where's the trolling?
Alright, well, really the trolling in this really is that it's kind of something that's general. Like I'm just using this as an example, really. I mean, it's really the general form of trolling, which is more of the tearing down of one's character, tearing down of because of a different decision and a different angle that he's taking to things, whether it is publicity or whether it is some kind of, or it's true, it's true to heart, or whatever it may be. I mean, I did watch, I sit down and watch the press conference, and I mean, you can question it, but I mean, it's for someone to see and kind of realize whether a man is being honest or he's just being, I mean, from what I saw, it seemed that it was wholeheartedly honest. Yeah, it seemed genuine, and for somebody to, try to tear down someone who's trying to take a positive, because it was really, in a sense, it was really him, because what he was saying was really him trying to take a different, like a positive one, because he says that he finds, reggae and, to be a very positive vibration. It's not. It's not like what he normally did in hip hop, the flashy, pimp, gangster thing. So,
I apologize if my words were a bit harsh, and if I offended anyone. I mean, I just felt that feeling,
No. I mean, it's not.
Nothing's wrong with that. I mean,
because here's what I'm going off of, because it's not a situation because here's where it's different, because what I'm talking about, because they had a live stream, when they have the live chat going on. Yeah. So it's basically like those comments, and the trolls come in there in their hundreds. So these are from people watching, like people who are actually watching.
What they're saying?
At the same time. So for instance, they're probably saying things like, he sell out, I guess sold out, hip hop, and he's this is just, well, I mean, think basically along the lines of him being, delusional, of him being, a sellout, but mostly like him being completely delusional that the marijuana has gotten to him, and him don't know what him talk about no more, and him just. Snoop Dogg losing his mind, and all sort of thing, just because of this, decision, like people kind of started to lash out. I mean, but then you had the positive remarks. Obviously, you had I think there are a lot of. I could tell that there are a lot of Jamaicans probably watching it as well, because there are a lot, like saying that, bless up for, the decision we're making, and and such, so. I mean, it's strange, but I mean, really, that's just an example. Like that's just an. You asked for the most recent examples. I gave you the.
But take it even a step further with even that Snoop Lion thing, because I mean, I was reading some comments on like the Facebook image, and like I heard people saying things like, well, if his music wasn't about weed already, it most certainly would be about weed now, because all those Jamaicans do is smoke weed all day long. And like I was reading it and I was like, here's my thing, you see me? Not only did you just like completely like just belittle the man's music, and I mean, you are nobody to belittle his music, because Snoop Dogg is a legend, you get me? Yeah. Not only did you just belittle his music, you just belittled an entire country, you get me? And like you had no, because I mean, even earlier when Ikem was saying, boy, Jono, you see me? It's not like Ikem was belittling Snoop Dogg, you see me? He was just, you see me? And that's a big difference. Like this guy was just belittling like these two icons, you get me? And these two things are just way bigger than him, and I'm like he doesn't have any grounds to do so, you see me? Like, yeah. Like, and there are people who are probably, impressionable people that are probably going to read it, and because they lack the knowledge also, they're probably going to believe it, to get me, like.
Yeah, alright. On that point,
Like, to get back to the topic of
like,
I think it's really going to the topic of the general troll, that individual that decided to take it upon themselves to make some kind of just loose, just completely baseless comment. Like the comment has no basis. It has no basis. They have no prior knowledge of anything. They don't present any kind of case. I mean, and not to say that you're going to type a paragraph as to backing for what you said, but what you said clearly has no kind of backing to it. It has no kind of structure to it. Merely it being your opinion. And I think this is where I have a little issue with the concept of an opinion, because I think just like anything else, anything can be abused, and I think the concept, the right to an opinion, or people having opinion, like I think that can be abused as well. Like people can abuse an opinion.
So then, what are you saying, Tash? We should regulate who can have an opinion?
No.
What are you saying, Tash? What are you saying?
But I'm just saying that I think people need to regulate what people in themselves need to regulate what they say, and not necessarily. I mean, there's this concept of speak your mind, and say what's on your heart and say what's on your thought, which is cool and all, and I understand that. But I think people need to kind of have some kind of You have to regulate. You have to kind of have to to get through a certain level of thought process before you just.
Yeah. And you know what it is? You know what it is, dog? Like, I find out with internet trolls, and this is where you come into, like, I think, the really bad internet trolls. There are some internet trolls who say things that not only they don't mean, but two, they don't believe. They really just genuinely don't believe it. You get me? Like, they're only saying it because they know it's going to incite anger, and they want that rise and reaction out of people. They don't believe it, because I mean, even today, I posted a comment.
Yeah, but then
previous that, like, even today, I posted a comment on Facebook. I came home and like I passed this building that had like these, like the Jamaica flag just. Like all the buildings in Jamaica right now are just like putting the Jamaica flag wrapped up around everywhere, and I genuinely like I sat down there and I was like, boy, Jano, I look at this thing and I'm like, boy, and I came home and I wrote this comment on my Facebook wall like, okay, so so corporate businesses are wrapping the Jamaican flag around their buildings, and suddenly we're celebrating Jamaican culture. We don't own any colors, you get me? And I genuinely believe in that comment, because I'm thinking to myself, like, this is my opinion, and I really want to hear what some people are going to say about this, because I want to bounce some ideas. I mean, I believed in that, you get me? But, like, if it was a case now where it's like, I had just said something like, I think the Jamaica flag is fuckery, then, I mean, genuinely, that's me going against the symbol that represents my country, you get me? And I don't think my country is fuckery. I don't think that the symbol that represents my country is foolishness, you get me? And I don't believe that, you get me? But for me to say that would be me kind of trying to get a rise out of people, because those people are going to basically identify the colors of Jamaican flag with their country, and they're going to think that I'm taking a jab at it. So in me choosing not to be aggressive, and me choosing not to be disrespectful to this thing and respecting it, but still just posing a comment, you see me? It's a much better way to do it, you get me? A troll on the other hand, no, would I just, you see me?
Alright, pre this, alright? The whole fact that we're talking about internet trolls, the internet, right? The age of the internet has seen people who wouldn't normally have a voice, and a lot of it has to do with the whole anonymity of speaking on the internet. Nobody can see your face, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody knows who you are. Yeah, nobody knows who you are, and you have this kind of freedom to just voice your opinions, right?
Yeah.
That is like a two-edged sword, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, people who couldn't usually speak can speak, and that is a freedom that you wouldn't want to take away. And it's like, we complain about internet trolls, but I mean, is that really the worst thing that could happen out of the whole freedom and freedom to express yourself to a wider audience?
I think it's a negative. Let me tell you why I think certain types of trolling is negative. I think it blurs the lines a lot, because I think that whereas people might want to go to the internet for information that they think people really believe in, sometimes they have to be wary, because they're like, okay, is this person trolling or is this person serious? Okay,
so you're saying like they're basically misleading a lot of people.
Yeah, they can really
that wouldn't know better, or not know better, but people seeking knowledge, and just because they decided that, I feel like trolling today. Today's a good day for trolling. That's
that's it.
They lead a lot of people down, give a lot of people wrong information, and lead a lot of people down wrong paths and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the case. It's exactly the case for me. As in, there are some people who, as even that saying from Batman, there's some people that just want to see the world burn. It's not even about the opinion. Like, they completely forget about the opinion. It's just really about the fact that they want to get a rise out of people. You get me? Yeah, that's really what it is at the end of the day.
Boy,
Taj back.
It seems as if Taj fell off for a second. Taj, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Alright. Yeah, man.
Yeah. We're just saying some trolls just really want to see the world burn, you know?
Yeah.
True.
That's really it. As in honestly, like, and some of them will say certain things, and honestly, twos might, like, they probably don't even remember what.
No, alright.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's why I did say that I'm not going to come into this. I'm not going to come into the conversation angry, because if you've been on the internet long enough, or you're somebody
who feed more trolls.
Yeah, if you
anger is troll food.
Right, exactly, and you know how they say, like, if they say, like, people say that if you take trolls too seriously, you're clearly new to the internet, you know. Clearly you're new here, you know, so it's not a situation where you can sit down and take that seriously, you know. But I mean, it's more so, you know. Let me get back more to the roots of what I'm saying. I remember last podcast we ended it on this note, and I made reference to the Olympic team, Jamaican Olympic team, being represented in designs by, I'm not sure who designed it again, you know.
No, and people making comments about them.
Right, and it was a lot of negative comments coming out. Some people admired it, some people, you know, had nothing really much to say, but there are a lot of negative comments. And I mean, I personally had no issue with the clothing, and it turned out that it happened to be voted one of the best, you know. And especially when I saw the rest, you know, what was there, I could clearly see that this is, and I mean, for people to just see something like that and then just to lash out completely, you know, just to, you know, because either it doesn't fit their taste, or, you know, it's not really to what they expect, you know, they just completely because I mean, I clearly see what they're doing, because it's obviously the Olympics in London, so they're trying to take this kind of British style, this, you know, this kind of take on that and play with it, and, you know, use Jamaican colors and I think they did, for like what they're doing, I think they did very well. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best thing, but I definitely would not lash out and, you know, call it horrible. And I mean, like, for people who, and it really comes from saying that for people who really either don't even know or understand, like, that kind of feel, they don't understand styling in that sense, for them to utter any kind of negative comment doesn't really make sense to me. I understand people's opinion.
Taj, we're talking about a world where there's sunshine and rainbows, you know.
Yeah, alright.
You know what I'm saying?
I get
and honestly, I'm gonna have to go so and defend trolling for a second. And you know, I'm gonna defend trolling. Pre this, you remember the Emperor's new clothes? Alright, a little technical difficulty there. Alright, and remember the Emperor's new clothes, right?
Yeah.
Basically, you had these two guys come from out of town, and basically they come from a place where, yo, they're the best at what they're doing, or at least they say that they are, and, you know, they go and make him the best garments in the world, and him basically, the emperor give them all the money and made these clothes, you know, which, you know, they were on the lighter side, you know what I'm saying? So, like, the fact that they weren't there at all, were they? No, they weren't. But did the king acknowledge the fact that he wasn't wearing any clothes? No, because they put it in his head that, yo, they know what they're doing, and you'd be a fool not to listen to us, and you'd be a fool not to see the beauty of, you know, this silk that we be weaving, you know what I'm saying? And then basically, you know, shame him in front of him entire kingdom. The worst part about it is that everybody just went along with the king because he was so convinced that they were like, oh yes, it was, if the king's convinced and they're saying that it's right, then it must be so, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, it's so beautiful, and it took a child it took a child to be like, yo, you know, she said the king balls out a door. You see me?
But you know what you're missing though? It's
What's
like it's like the schoolyard ballot basically. You think about it. There's a kid on the schoolyard, you see me?
Uh-huh.
And this kid is somebody that smells bad. You see me? No, hold on. He has like a odor problem, you get me?
Mm.
You have people on the schoolyard who are going to run around and shout out, yo, stink man, stink weed, you see me? Yo, nasty man, yo, go bait, you see me?
Mm.
Those people have chosen to take the public domain to embarrass this individual, not because they are looking out for his own good. Like the kid. No,
hold on there, because I had a point, you know.
Okay.
My point was that trolls challenge the status quo because there's a pretentiousness that seems to take over like any major society, that people, you know, in the higher echelon, you know what I'm saying, they just have this thing where like, yo, they're right, and if it isn't for the trolls, the two
No, I disagree.
Two tailors from outer town, if it wasn't for them, this king, imagine the atrocities that this king created before this time. This king was so foolish that he just believe and do anything to be the hype man. If these two guys didn't come in, you know, and challenge this thing.
But you know why what you're saying?
The king got,
you know why? Hold on, Ikem.
Yeah.
You know why what you're saying kind of lopsided though? Because it's not every single time the person who is being trolled is a king or is a tyrant king. No. That is why what you're saying is lopsided. You get me? Because the reality of it all, dog, is that, and that's exactly what I'm saying to you, dog. Like the reality of it all. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, some trolling, I see some of them and they are funny. I want to know why some of them are funny, Ikem. Some of them are funny because sometimes it's kind of tackling some things that really should be tackled. You get me? Like even that whole thing with alright, you remember that footballer Botatelli, and he played for Italy?
Yeah.
And they had all these
those memes.
They had all these memes about him, you get me? And the underlying issue here, you know, for a lot of it was that, yo, honestly, the Italian team was a lot of people are surrounding those situations were trolling and being racist, you get me? But you had a set of trolls who were kind of going out there and kind of just setting up these memes, making fun of him. And they're funny and people kind of looked at this guy as a character, you get me? And they made him into this character, you get me?
Yeah.
But the reality of it all is that, like, you had some trolls in that situation, however, that weren't that good looking youth on the schoolyard who just said, yo, here we bossy. You get me? Yeah, some of them that were just trolling and saying, oh, because him black, you get me? Him feel like him better than everybody, him do have to celebrate after him goals and things. What kind of man is he? And yo, he's a little.
And they take something that was fun and turn it into some racial.
You see me, nigga J.9, the nigga robot who doesn't celebrate after his. And I'm like really, like, you don't believe that stuff. You get me at all? You get me?
But what if they do?
Well, then if they do,
they're
then
probably horrible persons.
They're just horrible persons.
But then, I mean, it could have even take a toll where it's like, maybe some of them don't believe what they're saying, but then they saying that just bring out the people who do believe in what they're saying. Just bring out the mad people. It's like one time Bill Burr was saying that, yo, sometimes we just have to take out the crazies before they start getting followers, you see me? You know, you have a guy walking to a Walmart and he buying a couple of guns, and then all of a sudden he's like, you know, I'm about to go there and shoot some niggers, you know, and then, you know, somebody should tackle that guy, you know what I'm saying? Because if you don't tackle that guy, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna go shoot some niggers, man. We're gonna go shoot some niggers. And then, you know, probably somebody just around the corner is like, they've been thinking that their entire life, and they're like, yeah, he's got a right idea. Go shoot some niggers, you know? And then it's two of them now. You have two of them.
Yeah, but you come back down to, you ever heard a song by the Streets where he's like, there's a line where he says, geezers need excitement if their life doesn't provide the inside violence. And it's like, I was creating that song in it, and it's really almost exactly the same case for a lot of trolls, you know, because yeah, they say this thing, you get me? And you have some people who are impressionable, you get me?
Yeah.
And these people are the geezers and all that. Like, it's like the guys who crawl around doing a fight, you get me? And they're like, yeah, go. Real and truly, dog. The reality of it all, dog, is that they don't believe that somebody should have to die right now in this fight, They don't really believe that a life should have to be taken away. No, but honestly, dog, it's excitement, you get me? They're looking for the rise out of the situation. Like, geezers need excitement. And right now, dog, yeah, I think that's what he basically using this idea that he's saying that in
old guy.
Yeah, like in London. I mean, I guess that's speaking about his culture. I don't know. Yeah. I wouldn't get it. You know, but I guess he's making a jab at the older folks in England who probably just they drink a lot and they just want to incite some kind of violence whenever they're under the influence. And I mean. And the reality is that I look at some of these shows, dog, and I don't feel like some of them. I mean, there are some of them who are making an opinion, and from the context, sometimes you can kind of understand where they're coming from. But then there are some that just need excitement, and their life isn't providing that right now. So they incite violence, you get me? And they incite.
What would you suggest then? Alright, say in touch.
Alright, let's going back, taking it back, going in the past a little, going back to what you said, Ikem, about the Emperor's New Clothes situation and
yeah.
Funny enough, the trolling can work in the opposite direction.
Okay.
It can work, and that's I think that's more of what I'm looking at, especially in that particular situation that I brought up earlier. That it goes in the opposite direction in the sense where, instead of it being a situation where you have that little kid that is the one that sees what's really going on and he brings out, he says the truth. It's kind of the reverse in a sense where
just everybody just okay with the Emperor being naked.
Yeah, everybody's and then maybe I'm saying it's a country. What I really trying to get at is that let's just be clear with this particular situation.
Yeah.
People would say, someone would say something negative about what they say, and then you have this kind of chain reaction, like it's kind of like planting a seed in someone's mind. Like, one person says, or 5 other people say that this thing looks horrible. Then that kind of plants a seed, just like what Matthew was saying, even that kind of plants a seed in someone else's head that this doesn't look that great, and then that kind of like continues to kind of spread and
there's nobody.
That may very well not be the case, but because that has become the seed that's been planted and this popular mindset, that everybody just kind of decided that, all right, this is probably really true because this is what it's seeing. I mean, everybody else is saying that, it looks crappy, and I mean, I'm looking at it now and I don't really know if it looks crappy, but I mean, I think it does, because that's a kind of seed that's planted, and so it's kind of the reverse that Emperor's Clothes thing, in a situation where it's kind of the same, but in a more negative light. Like, it's
instead of the child saying, "Yo, the Emperor now no clothes," everybody just truly believe that the Emperor clothes are shot.
Right.
Well, alright. I want to know even another thing too. I was even looking at a different situation, which is why I think this is even like another perspective of the negative aspects of internet trolling. Like, there was this video I was watching the other day. This internet video blogger by the name of Ill Doctrine, and like he does like these, like he's been doing this for years, like since like 2007. And like he just shares his opinions about a lot of things, like race, music, hip hop, just a lot of things, And he was actually talking about the topic of trolling, and he was saying that there are some times when you have trolls that are just sad individuals, but they're kind of funny, and they kind of show you a different perspective on things and make you kind of chuckle to yourself about some of the things that you probably really shouldn't chuckle about. But there's the vices of life that spice up things, you get me?
Yeah.
But he was also saying that there's a way how internet trolls can be so dangerous, because he was saying that there's this lady, she started a blog, and she had already had a blog before that was pretty famous. So when she started a new blog, she announced what the kind of topics that she was going to be talking about, and she stated that she's going to be talking about the negative way in which women are portrayed in video games. You get me? And she hadn't even done the article yet, she had just spoke about the fact that she was going to do it. You get me?
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of like video gamers, and I'm assuming mostly male video gamers, kind of came on and started, making these like the fact that she even decided to form an opinion about the woman in video games. They started coming on and calling her a slut and a whore and saying that she's a feminist bitch and a whole bunch of crap. You get me? And like it became this huge thing where people started sending her like death threats, and if you put out and people are even trying to justify it by saying if you put out that kind of content, then maybe some kind of government official might pick up on it and start to use it as reason to start banning certain content in video games, and that's not good for anybody. And I'm thinking, like, you're sending this lady a death threat, something against her life. You're threatening her life
because of a video game.
Because of a video game, and a lot of these people who are threatening her life are really just running off of the steam. Because I mean, dude, if one man send her something about threatening her life, and if one man sends something like that, you see me, then it would be easy for this lady to probably all track this IP address and have this man all charged. You get me? Yeah. But these people are probably just working off of this collective trolling steam, and it has just snowballed into this huge thing where it is acceptable for them to make death threats. And that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, as in, I can understand trolling in some aspects, but like when it gets to that level where it's just like and I can imagine that out of all the people who might have been doing that, there might have at least been 40% of them who really just were neither here nor there and really didn't care, but were saying something for the sake of saying something. And it has led to the point where they're now making death threats on this lady's life.
Well, I mean, alright. You know that there is, I heard about this thing. Alright, I'm looking it up right now. On BBC.com, there is this thing that's saying websites are to be forced to identify trolls under new measures. Apparently there's some new law that is, I'm not sure if it's going into effect or whatever, but I know that for Facebook, like they're probably doing something where they can pick up words, like keywords, and like basically they can just pick up words in conversations and scan them for I guess
trolling material.
I guess, and then them can identify you and take legal action or whatever.
Basically, that not going to solve the problem, dog. As in, I don't think that will really solve. I mean, like doing that now is like, because then it's just going to start this huge.
The thing is, it's a little. I think that's a little extreme. Yeah, I think that's a little extreme.
Then,
I mean,
what you think should happen then?
Alright, here's the thing. I think we have too much of those kind of tactics already when it comes to everything. Like, just root out the problem, or root out what we think is a problem, and
So we have to troll the trolls.
Yeah, I mean, not really troll the trolls, but I mean, why are people? We have to look at why people are trolling in the first place. Like, why do people troll? Why? What causes this kind of? I mean, internet bullying and like people who literally become some kind of bad man once them reach behind them screen. Them feel like the biggest don in the world behind
thing.
Yeah, behind it, like what. Like, I think we need to more look at what brings that complex. I mean, is that something deeply rooted more in?
But that sounds like more of a
society.
Psychological survey.
I mean,
way of getting rid of it, if that's what we want to do.
Yeah, but then I mean, even that method that you just read there just seems a little extreme. I mean, we don't want to.
Well, I mean,
be cutting off the tongues of people, but I mean, we want to kind of try to find some kind of balance, like why are people doing these things? How can we prevent these things from happening? Instead of us, just yanking people or, like pointing fingers and yanking, oh, you're a troll, delete your account or, yank your, kind of try to. So we're going to prevent this stuff instead of, just sweeping it under the rug.
Okay.
I mean, it's one of those things.
But I think it's possible to, because I mean, even check it. About 3 years ago, you get me? They had this whole thing about stepping up on this whole idea of not necessarily bullying, like trying your best to make sure that you kind of give a helping hand to individuals in your schools. And this was in America, who are a bit different, and they were specifically talking about not bullying homosexuals. You get me?
Yeah.
And they're kind of saying, like, I mean, they had like this whole mass suicide of like homosexuals in America because they were being bullied at school, and they had this whole campaign on MTV and stuff. And I kind of agree that there was a time, probably 3 years ago, where anything that was like this homosexual content on the internet, almost everybody would be lashing out against it. You get me? Like, it was just like, I'm talking about mostly red bars on YouTube. Like, it would have been seriously like negative comments. You get me? And I guess, I mean, I won't go around the fact that in our society and as human beings, we wait for a martyr to teach us a lesson. Like, it always happens. I mean, Columbine taught America a huge lesson about that. And those whole mass suicides taught. I mean, it always happens. And that's the way we are as human beings, you get me? But like, I look at the fact that, like, you see, like, Frank Ocean come out now the other day, and, like, it's not as, the comments that you would expect probably 3 years ago, it's not as negative. No. And I guess it's because people are a bit more educated as to what can come of it, you get me? Like, just loosely just shedding some hate, you get me?
But like,
and I'm pretty, like, trolling right now is a casual thing. It's a very, very casual thing. Like, people still haven't seen some of the effects that just a little bit of trolling can do. Like, because that's what people look at it as, you know, just like a little bit of trolling, and I don't really think anybody can read my comment in particular, you get me? And it's just a little bit of trolling, you get me? But until they see the bigger picture, you know, I mean, it's not really.
Honestly, dude, I mean, like, even I even saw this thing on Facebook the other day about this, let me see if I can find this, about this obese girl. Basically, they're on 4chan, right? 4chan, the anus of the internet. This is where trolling
that's where it was born. It was born out of the gutters,
in 4chan.
The slime that you know when everything just is gutted up into one corner. That's what 4chan is. That's what 4chan is of the internet.
So basically,
it's just a drench. It's just, and it was born. Trolling was born out of that. Out of that gave birth to
this
the
girl. The 17-year-old girl. See there, the 17-year-old girl committed suicide. Let me read the thing. Somebody post a picture of the girl on 4chan. Somebody start a thing, post the picture of the girl on 4chan and said, "Attention 4chan. Yesterday I found my sister in her room crying her eyes out. I asked her why she was feeling down, and she said it was because she was fat. I became furious, demanding she tell me who was making fun of her. She said that she posted her picture on a website called 4chan.org. She continued to say that this website made fun of her and posted shops of her picture. You know, when you Photoshop pictures, and the same thing with the Balotelli thing, right?
Yeah.
And the guy goes on to say, "I am appalled." And then he has the picture right beside. So he says, "Take a good look at this picture, because this beautiful woman, my sister, committed suicide later last night." And in response to that, some anonymous user wrote, "Must have been one hell of a strong rope."
Alright, but you see all that to dog, he's an anonymous user, and he didn't even use his name.
Do you see, like, I mean, isn't that, like, evil?
Yeah, but that's the thing.
No,
that's the thing in Ikem. That's the thing in Ikem. This man said that thing, you know. You get me? And it's not like he sat down there and pondered about, I know, must have been a strong rope. Yo, that rope. And sat, you know, I need to figure out. But no, dog. He literally just said it because he was sick enough to believe it was funny. You get me? Like, and he didn't even, like, no, hold on. If you had gone to that guy, knowing his identity, if you were friends with that guy who wrote that comment and went to him and asked him, you know, on a serious note, somebody who would have probably boxed him down if he made a joke about it.
Yeah.
Or probably call him an ass, you get me? And ask him, yo, boom, you get me? He would have never made that comment. And that's why he's anonymous. You get me?
Hold on
because
there
he probably
now.
just doesn't even believe it.
Dude, I want to tell you this. The internet culture is spilling over so much into real life that I honestly, because I've actually heard people make comments like that. And I mean, like, even when it's not anonymous, even on Facebook, those shootings in Aurora the other day at the Batman premiere, right? You know, you have these shops with like Spider-Man, you know, doing something, and it's like, at least nobody got, you know, killed at my movie, and people making jokes like that, and people are like, LOL, you know, too soon. Some people are like, oh, that's not funny, but I LOL'd. You know what I'm saying? These aren't anonymous.
No, what
people.
it is desensitized. People are completely desensitized, like, by just the internet culture. These day and age, like, people just they're not.
But I believe
they lack a lot of compassion for things, and it's not even. And funny enough, it's not even in a sense where they understand that, like, where they see that happening. It's just because it's just so normal and it's so. You know, this is just what you do. You know, that it doesn't even seem like they're doing anything wrong. It's just this automatic reaction, this automatic cold reaction to anything, this desensitized reaction to any situation. You know.
But I mean, I believe that that's kind of what the government wants to do. Because I mean, like I said,
conspiracy theory.
No, I really preach, and I'm like, this whole idea of being desensitized, dog, it really draws the masses away from like serious issues that really should be addressed. You get me? Because, dude, you see, in my opinion, dog, if that Kony thing was really a conspiracy, you know, now that is one of the biggest trolls I can even imagine in my eyes. You see me? That thing was a huge troll. If that is the case, dog, it's a troll of all trolls. You get me? In reality, people were so caught up with this idea of wheat paste in someone's face all over the place, thinking that was actually really going to do anything more than a video that had already gone viral, telling people to wheat paste this man's face all over the place. You know, and I'm kind of looking at this thing, and I'm saying like, the way how I see it is like they want to draw people away from the issue that there are people in this world, you get me, who are like, they're basically heading up these groups that are, you know, killing the innocent people. And I mean, alright, market, you know, there's, you know, another side of the troll where people are kind of saying, yo, dog, I don't even know if this man is even still operating, so we're probably just fighting a lost cause when there are other warlords that could even be, you get me? But people aren't even thinking about that, you know, dog. People are just thinking about this one guy, you get me? And it's like, dog, honestly, look at this trolling thing and this whole desensitized thing, dog, and people being desensitized to certain things, and I'm like, I feel like there's certain people in this world who actually want this to happen. You get me? Like, who really want this to be happening.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, sometimes I don't really believe in coincidence. Like, certain things just manifest. You get me? Like, I tell people all the time that there's no such thing as a recession monster that just comes around every now and then. Like, it's cause and effect, dog. You get me? Like,
yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, probably that's deviating to this.
No, I mean, it's not. I mean, we look at it. Honestly, dog, I look at it. Governments troll the people all the time, and it's like always for like some monetary thing. And I mean, it's like if it's very difficult for people to find out that they can't trust the governments. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even look at the thing that's happening in Tivoli and how everybody in Jamaica see these planes in the sky, and the government telling us that there was nothing in there.
Like you were all hallucinating at the same time.
Couple months later, they just changed the story and say, oh yeah, you know, remember when we said those things weren't in the sky? Oh yeah. Yeah, our bad. There was some stuff, you know. And then they just expect you not to say anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't know whose strategy that was. All right, let's not tell them the truth. All right, let's just deny everything and then a couple months down the line we'll just when it blows over we'll just come back and we'll just ha 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 ha. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's more because of like proof, like. I mean, apart from seeing, I don't know how comes Jamaicans' eyes aren't proof enough.
Yeah.
But it's because like physical
like a lack of
video
respect.
footage and exactly, because proof from abroad, like foreign proof, like show was coming up that planes were indeed in the sky. So people them just say, alright, we can't show the Jamaicans anymore. It's getting bigger than this. Alright, let's just come clean. Let's just
boy.
Let's just admit it. Let's just admit we were wrong. And we're not admitting we're wrong. We're just saying that the planes were there, but just just chill, follow the vibe.
Just follow the vibe,
Just don't worry about it. I mean, it was just a thing. I mean, it's not. You don't need to get worried about it.
Alright. Honestly, dude, I think. With everything in the world, I think there's both good and bad. Yes, there are times when I think trolling makes light of bad situations for the better. Sometimes some people need something to laugh about, in times where there seems not much to laugh about.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, if there is like a lack of what you call that, human, I don't know. There should be.
There's a lack of consideration for other human beings.
Consideration seem way too light. As in, because I mean, there's some people that the kind of jokes, quote unquote, that they make, I mean, that's on par with like some Hitler level of not. I mean, what do you call that? There's a word for it, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's not fashion.
Let's make up a word, some fascination.
Fascination.
Yeah, some super fascination.
Sounds legit.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, and in Jamaica, fasci is like a word for that means
asshole.
Asshole. Yeah.
Yes.
Even though that's too light. It's more than an asshole. It's like a super asshole. So I'm saying a super asshole, which still seems like too light a term for what I'm thinking in my head. But we can work with it. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
But if you reach that point, honestly, something was wrong.
They need to check themselves on all the little vibes and just kind of.
They check themselves. I know one thing I want to say to before we wrap up too tough. I mean, I want people to understand still. I mean, I know that no one is perfect. You get me? And sometimes people, I mean, we're human beings. Sometimes people will post things and they probably don't realize until probably after a couple of comments and it's more consideration that probably what they said was a bit. And I mean, there are ways to recover from certain things, you get me?
Yeah.
And it teaches you a lesson. We're not saying that, even though your words are power and even if you try and take it down afterwards, probably the damage is done sometimes.
Yeah.
So you need to be careful. But there are some people, however, that at no point in time do they even care that their words have just incited some kind of, negativity. At no point in time. They don't even, not even after the fact. And that is, in my opinion, some of the more dangerous ones again. Because even like Ikem was saying, you have some people who post some serious, like, Hitler type, some real, like, you have to look at it and you have to be like, wow, a human being said this, you get me?
Yeah.
And they don't care. They don't care. At any given time, they don't care. There is not one F was given.
Oh no.
They're behind the computer screen. They feel very secure in themselves. Yeah, they feel very secure in themselves being behind there.
I mean,
because, dude, I even to contextualize that a bit, I mean, kind of to kind of bring it back home a little bit. The most recent thing, one of the most recent things I can think of, probably one of the biggest melting pot of trolls and opinions and positivity, negativity and trolling, and I think that Jamaica 50 song dilemma. When that whole thing started, like that song, and people were saying, that song is not Jamaican. I mean, some people were really coming out and having these opinions. Like they were saying, all right, listen, if we're going to have a song that's going to represent Jamaica, I mean, I can understand some people trying to say we must be contemporary with it, but the truth of the matter is that we have a sound and we shouldn't throw it away on one of the most important years of our existence as a country. And I mean, we have a sound, and I feel like this song doesn't do the sound justice. I mean, there are some people who are point for point stating their opinions, and I think that is what the internet is for. But then you have some people who are saying no, who are just coming on and just completely just taking this thing to a place where if enough people find what they say funny and find what they say to be interesting, then they're going to run away with the spoon on something that really we shouldn't even be looking at, like stuff that just is inciting some sort of hate that really shouldn't even be considered. You get me?
Yeah. Alright, well, I mean, and on that, because I don't know if you know this, well, I don't know how true this is or factual, I heard that the internet, like access to the internet has actually been made a human right. Like, I think people just figured that it was, but it was actually recently, like probably like some years ago or recent, I don't know how, but recently, access to the internet is actually a human right. Like, it's your human right to have access to the internet. And boy, and boy, I mean, it sounds away, but I really sometimes believe that some people do not deserve that right. Like, I feel like sometimes some people have forfeited that right with the things that they have said or things that they have incited. I mean, behind them computer, behind the screen of them, behind the keyboard, behind the little Batman keys, and they type the Batman words. Feel like a big man. Like, I feel like some people have forfeited that right. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people who there are people now around the world who would die to have a voice. Yeah. Like, people would a lot of people around the world would love to have a voice. They love to be able to make their words known, and they can't. Like, they don't have the means to. And you just have people just wasting it out. People having that convenience, like it's nothing else, wasting it away. And just doing the complete opposite, just inciting negativity across the board.
Boy, you know how we should end this, dog? As you know what we should end this on? I recently read an article that said that the internet has now become aware of itself. I wonder when the internet's going to start trolling.
Huh?
What?
What
Yeah.
does that mean?
The internet has now become aware of itself. The internet now understands that it is the internet.
What does that mean?
I don't dude. Remember, the internet is just a melting pot of this information. It's just this big whole connected web of information.
Yeah.
And I don't know how the mechanics of it. I mean, people listening, as in, just go and look it up for yourself. I mean, I read it and I still really didn't understand, because there are some technical terms I didn't understand. I'm not a programmer, but it's literally, the article is basically saying the long and short of it is that the internet has become packed full of so much information that it has just naturally become artificially intelligent. And it is now aware of itself.
Are you saying... What are you saying right now? Is this
It is aware, as in the internet understands.
Are we seeing the rise of Big Brother right now? Are we seeing the rise of machines? Skynet.
Start a Skynet rotted.
But the internet is strolling,
You need to look into that. The internet is...
Yeah, look it up. It's a quite interesting article. Yeah.
The internet is trying to have your babies. I mean, the internet is... It's doing a thing.
You're saying like a whole heap about like it being fully artificially intelligent, but it was saying there are some clues as to the fact that the internet is self-sustaining now. in a way. Like it would continue to. I wouldn't even say like it was saying don't use the word grow because people made the internet grow.
Yeah.
But there are instances where the internet willingly like modifies information. Like it's weird though. Like it has become packed full of so much resources that it is able to do that now. You need to read that. Like I need to find it. I should send it to you. But yeah, cool talk.
Alright, cool. Wrapping it up. We're here with Matthew McCarthy, Taj Francis, and I'm Ikem Smith. And until next time, boom bam bim, boom bam boom boom. I need like a catchphrase or something, but you know.